Welcome back to our channel, everybody. So in this video, we had one of our subscribers named Desi. She asked, what do we do for our spirituality? So in this video, we will talk about what we actually do as an age gap relationship for our spirituality.
Yes, we'll talk not only about how we do it as a couple, but also how we do this individually. Now, as a couple, we basically, although been a little bit busy here the last while, we got to get back to regular. We try to fairly much on a daily basis to have 10, 15, 20 minutes together to do some inspired reading or talk about something spiritual. Reading out of a spiritual book that we have in various ones. Sometimes it might be the Bible. Sometimes it might be something else that we've found.
Yeah. Well, we can just mention the three different texts. So we have the Urantia book, and then we have Peace Pilgrim, and then there's the Bible as well. So certain parts of it.
Okay. And as far as individually goes, well, Shantari, maybe you can say first what you do individually.
Well, individually, we also meditate. Like when we wake up, we have our own separate meditation sessions. And with music, I consider that a worship session. So, I mean, I grew up in church, and so gospel music, it really gets me into worshiping God. And so for me, that really does help, like clearing my mind and getting me into a thankful state of mind, which also meditation, that's kind of what I do with meditation too, is kind of quieting my mind to get myself into being thankful for everything that I have, because I have so much, but with my worship sessions, it's literally turning on gospel music and just listening to several different gospel songs back to back, and it gets me into this overwhelming feeling of thankfulness, and where I'm just like, oh, I'm so thankful to God. And sometimes, like before Edward and I met, I had this quite spiritual experience where getting into that state of mind of being super thankful for everything, having those worship sessions, got me into this state of mind of where I just wanted to go out and help people. And so I started to do random acts of kindness to people who was living in the apartment building that I was living in. And so, yeah, for me, that's a big part of spirituality. We don't go to church because we don't feel that spirituality is just confined in a church. Like, it's God being with you all the time. Every single person can connect with God in their own way. And so, yeah, my worship sessions, meditations, those things are really helpful. And of course, the spiritual reading that we do as well.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like we never go to church. We do occasionally actually drop into certain services, and might enjoy that. But the point is that you want to, a lot of times I think people don't understand what true spirituality is and what I call true spirituality. They think that, just going to church each week and then feeling exhilarated or a little bit there and then going back to your old bad habits and that really doesn't cut it. It's really character building, I believe. And so if you should be able to look at yourself and say, okay, I'm a better person than I was, a number of months ago, or a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. You should be more a caring person, more courageous, more loving, more balanced, more mature, more patient, understanding, all these different things. The things that, in our case, believing in Jesus, and then it could be Buddha that you believe in, or whatever it might be. It doesn't matter, but the thing that does matter is that it inspires you and helps you actually become a better, more balanced, happy, loving person. If not, then you've got to ask yourself, really, what is this supposed spirituality doing for me?
Yeah.
If you're not taking care of business, you're not taking care of your job, you're not taking care of your relationship, not taking care of your health, you're not really, some people look at you and say, well, why would I want that? Then something's wrong with your spirituality if it's not really affecting you to become that better, more magnanimous, person that we're talking about. So that's what I consider to be true spirituality. And for me, a lot like Shantari too, I try to start each morning out with thankfulness and a little bit of spiritual, prayer that I'm actually asking for love in the morning, and then a little bit of silence to try to receive that. I try to do that the first thing in the morning, and then throughout the day, try to check myself and see how I'm doing there. And I also think it's really important in the relationship, especially with the older party. You got to look back at yourself, 20, 30 years ago and remember what your maturity level was and whatever, even though you might think your partner is pretty mature for their age. There were a lot of things you still needed to learn. And so you do have to have some patience for that, and having patience requires, I think, a firm spirituality in that. Otherwise, you might get impatient, just want to break the relationship off, or if you really want to be in that relationship, maybe they're going a little bit too far and pushing the boundaries, and you don't have the strength, you don't want to lose it, so you kind of try to grab on, and that doesn't work either. And we've had a couple times in a relationship where, just from my standpoint, I loved her very much, but I kind of had to let it go for a little bit, and then and then it came back. But that inner confidence or that inner strength does come from true spirituality, and that kind of connection with whatever you consider God or whatever.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that.
As a couple, we talked about having 10, hopefully 20 minutes or more together of inspired reading, discussing about it.
Right.
Individually, you need to develop your own spiritual practice, whether that be meditation, prayer, music, inspired reading, whatever it might be, and realize again that true spirituality, which really should be true character, you should be becoming that much better, desirable person, someone that you would like to meet and you would like to be friends with the courage, the understanding, the caring, the love, the patience, the wisdom, balance, all of that.
Yeah, I think it is important that each person asks themselves, would you be friends with who you are today? Because if you wouldn't, then why would you continue being that person? Why wouldn't you change to do better? Because it's important, because if you're not going to want to be your own friend, then why would you expect somebody else to be your friend?
To be, right.
I think it's important that each person individually, for us, we all have our own connection with God and our own spiritual path, but also together, we will read spiritual texts together. So I think it's great that couples actually get together to involve themselves in whatever spiritual journey they're on, but also have their own spiritual journey as well. So I think that's important.
Yeah, and discussion for sure.
Yes.
All right.
All right. So hopefully this video answered you, Desi, in terms of what we do for spirituality. That's what we do individually, but of course whatever works for everybody else works for them. What works for us might not work for everybody else. But let us know if you have any more questions. Let us know in the comments. We appreciate you all for watching and liking our videos. We've actually never gotten so much love from people online before until this. We didn't realize how big YouTube is until this channel that we have now, and how we have people come into the channel and asking us questions and saying they like this, they like that. So we appreciate you all, seriously. Thanks for
I just hope it's useful and helpful to you, because we have a wonderful relationship, and we would hope that you could find and develop and continue a great relationship as well.
Yes, absolutely. So we will see you in the next video. We appreciate you for watching.